Good morning. This is Jo Baldwin, Dr. Jo Baldwin Coaching, and this is Monday Morning Mojo. If you watched last Monday, you'll know I'm doing things a little differently, just for a run of about 5 weeks. As you will have seen, I announced the launch of a new group coaching program called More Like Myself, which will be starting in mid-September. And I'm using these Monday mornings just to give little tasters of the kind of topics we'll be covering in some of the modules for that course. It's a small group coaching program, which I'm hoping will allow me to offer the kind of coaching tools that I use with my one-to-one clients, but in a more accessible way. It's a much reduced investment for what I think is an amazing package. One-to-one work isn't for everybody, for various reasons, and group work can actually be really effective and very, very powerful. The support, reassurance, and encouragement that you get when a group of women come together is really quite special. And the relief when somebody realizes that, they're not the only one experiencing a certain challenge or issue at the moment, well, that can just lift a load off the shoulders. So the topic I'm going to cover this week, which we would look into in real detail in one of our modules, is values. And you might wonder, what exactly are values? Well, they are things that are important to us in life, the things that we are naturally drawn to. And our values help us make meaning of life. It helps inform the meanings that we make of certain situations as they arise. I think of them as a set of personal rules and guiding principles that inform our decisions, motivate our actions, and contribute to our personality, really. They are basically a part of what makes me, me. And even though they're acting at a subconscious level, they are there all the while processing matters under the surface for us. So our values determine why we make certain choices, why we are perhaps getting certain results out of life at the moment, and why we make certain meanings of a situation. They are totally personal and individual to you, and to try and sort of define a value, you need to sort of boil it down to either a single word or a short phrase. Words and phrases that describe qualities that are important to you. So, for example, you might have values such as love, freedom, joy, authenticity, integrity, contribution, responsibility, making a difference. During our module, when we cover values in the More Like Myself course, I'll be taking clients through an exercise to help you explore and elicit your own values. Now, you can choose to do this in the context of life in general, or you can narrow it down to a context of career or perhaps relationships or health. The choice is yours, and the exercise will still work no matter which way you want to run it. You might be wondering, why is it so important to do this kind of work and to do this exercise? Well, we are only motivated to do something if what it represents is of value to us. So, for example, if you love learning and growth and development, that might be why you're in a program such as this one. You're prepared to invest time, energy, your focus and attention on something which fits with your values. If integrity is a value for you, then you will be honest and truthful. You would own up if something went wrong at work, perhaps. If fidelity is a value, then you wouldn't betray a trust in a relationship. So you can see the sort of examples and how they show up in life. And these are crucial to our attitudes and our behaviours. They're solid beliefs, but just be, conscious that they can be different to other people's values, and that is perfectly fine. So if you feel naturally drawn to something, or it feels just effortless to behave in a certain way, carry out certain actions, then it likely fits in with your values. The problem comes in that we only live by our values if it feels safe to do so. Now, what do I mean by that, safe? So some things can get in the way, so the value just can't be expressed. Some things overshadow our values, and we might find that our values have been squashed down over the years by outside influences, perhaps. And if we aren't now living life in line with our natural inherent values and beliefs, this can often leave us feeling just uncomfortable and confused. So, what kind of things might be the cause for overshadowing our values or getting in the way? Sometimes our needs can supersede the value. So, our need to be liked and accepted by a certain person or group of people might mean we dumb down some of our beliefs and values in order to fit in with them. Sometimes it's a sense of duty or obligation. So the job that you found yourself in, which seemed fine 10 years ago, you're now noticing that perhaps if a value like fairness and justice is powerful for you, and you're now realizing that actually your company isn't acting in a fair sort of a way, then that might be causing some discomfort and conflict for you. Stress. I think stressful events can limit us and weaken our resolve to stay in alignment with our values. Habits. Sometimes habits that creep in over the years, even if we don't really like them, again, they somehow sort of overrule our underlying values if we're not careful. And money. Sometimes financial constraints might limit our capacity to fulfill on a value, perhaps if it's a value like contribution, sharing, providing. So you can see how different things sort of get in the way as time goes by. And if this is happening, you'll get an inner conflict going on. A conflict when your actions aren't now in harmony with your personal values. And it all might be happening at a subconscious level. You don't even realize what's going on. And yet you're noticing these feelings of dissatisfaction, discomfort, demotivation and disillusionment, and even identity issues. So I think they're good enough reasons to explore this area and improve on some negative states that you might be experiencing. And also, I think bringing these things to consciousness just makes it easier to make more positive life choices. Living in accordance with your values brings a sense of fulfillment, satisfaction, and just feeling completely and truly yourself. So, getting to grips with your top values means perhaps finding more purpose and meaning, perhaps more fulfillment and joy. So, wouldn't this be a great exercise for you to do? What other benefits might there be if you were to get to grips with your values and start realizing them in life? Well, I think it would be easier to identify goals going forwards. I think you would be less distracted by just less important stuff, and life then starts to just feel a bit simpler. I think it helps you to focus your energies and make better choices and focus in on the things that are important. And you start then actually getting more of what you want in life. So the values that you're currently not living, but you could perhaps bring in. So maybe there's something like, I don't know, creativity, that deep down is a value for you that's been quashed over the years, but you actually realize that is still important to you. So how could you bring more creativity into life? Would it be picking up an old hobby, music, drawing, art, painting? Could it be creativity in the context of decorating your home? So once you start to find out what's important to you, then you can bring more of that into life. And I think you can cross off some of the things that you're currently doing that you're only doing because they feel like a duty or an obligation. But actually they're not really serving you, and they're not in line with your values. And you can also spot where and why you're feeling that dissatisfaction, that demotivation, and help formulate a plan to make some change. So if this has piqued your interest in the More Like Myself course, see the link in the comments below this video. That's got all the details, and there's a link there to help you join the wait list to secure a place. Meanwhile, there are 3 more taster videos touching upon some of the other topics that I'll be covering in the course modules. And you can actually sign up to receive these direct into your inbox, so you won't miss out on any of them. I also have a free workshop on Monday the 5th of September, and that will be wrapping up all of the topics from the taster sessions, the taster videos, and more, and talking about the course in more detail. And if you sign up to get the taster videos into your inbox, you will also get details about the workshop. So if you have found this topic interesting, maybe you know somebody else who would find it interesting too. Please share to your network, share this video, share my posts, tag friends, like, comment. It all helps to get the word out, and I would be really grateful if you could help me do that, because I think there are more women like us that just want to start feeling more like ourselves again. That's it for today. I will see you next Monday, and the topic I'm covering next week is self-care and making sure you get your needs met. And a little warning, self-care isn't what you might think it is. There's a lot more to it than that. Have a good week, and I'll see you next Monday. Bye now.